Okay. All right. Hello, hello. Hello, everybody. I don't know if anybody's watching right now, but hi, everybody, anyway. We are going to have a special guest joining us. I will introduce her when she gets here. So hello to you guys. Welcome into this Taurus full moon energy. If you've been feeling ungrounded and just having some anxiety or, just not really sure, the Taurus full moon will change that, which is really nice. And I would just want to I'm going to do a little reading for who's ever watching this. My intention is on 11/11 here at 11 a.m. We are looking at what is happening. For those of you who follow the channel for any length of time, you know that Venus is in Sagittarius right now. I'm going to be asking our special guest. She's an astrologer, Barbara Goldsmith. I don't know if y'all know her, but I highly recommend her. I've been watching her for a long time. She's a fabulous astrologer, and I just love her energy. I think it goes perfectly with the channel, which is why she's going to be on. Hopefully she'll be on. She is on the other side of the world. She is traveling right now, so I am going to do a little reading for those watching. And when Barbara shows up, we will talk more about the Mercury transit. We'll talk more about moving out of Scorpio season into Sag season and what's ahead. So let's do this right now. I want to look at this energy. Oh, before we do that, I put up some readings yesterday for the week on career and abundance. The class tonight is starting tonight, building your spiritual business. If you have not joined up but you want to, you have 59 minutes to join. We'll be, you can check that link in the description box of any of the videos I've recently done. And I do believe Colleen will be able to put the link in this application or on YouTube. I haven't really. There's Barbara. I didn't even get a chance to do this. Well, we'll do this for sure. Treasure Island, yay. Ooh, okay, I'm gonna use this. All right, so I just wanna say this to you. I am seeing this Treasure Island and Message in a Bottle. I did definitely, there's Barbara. There's Barbara. We have some announcements to make about Barbara too, so we'll be doing that. I think she's coming on. So let me just say this to you. The Message in a Bottle and Treasure Island. Do you love the symmetry of this? Do you love the symmetry of this? There's Barbara. Hi, Barbara.
Hey.
How
do I have to change light? Do you want me to turn this light off? It's a bit weird, isn't it? I should turn it off. Very peculiar. You don't know till you try, do you? I'm traveling. What do I know? Let's try that.
There you go. Okay.
Is that better?
There, that's better. I mean, it is a little darker, but I can see your.
I can get a lamp. Just a minute. I'll get a lamp. Do we have time?
We're on live. I mean, it's up to you. I don't think you need it. I'm okay with that.
Okay. It takes me a minute to get a lamp. If you've got the time, I will. But
no. Let's just move on. I do want to tell everybody about your exciting shift and change that you've made. For those of you who know Barbara as Barbara Goldsmith, she is now Baraka. And I would like to introduce you. Maybe I'm the first one to get to introduce you like that. So please share that. What's the change? What's happening?
Well, I think we're in times of extreme change. I think that all of us, if we're being honest, or most of us, let's say that way, are feeling as though the things are speeding up. They're either totally stuck or they're speeding and they're too fast. And it seems to be that we're either in one extreme or another.
Agreed.
And I felt that I had to change something profoundly about my identity, myself. Who am I? What am I doing here? And the name change just kept feeling very important. So that's
I love that. Tell everybody what you told me about the name Barbara, what the name Barbara means, and then what Baraka means, because I'm very interested in that.
Well, the name Barbara means stranger, comes from the word barbarian, and I feel as though I've suffered with that name. Not that it's a bad name, but it's just not got a very nice meaning. And the word Baraka means blessing. So I feel more comfortable with that.
I love that so much. And you definitely are a blessing. I've only known you for a short time. I will tell everybody. I've had several interactions with Baraka, and I have enjoyed every single one of them. So thank you so much for being here. And your knowledge is amazing. So, you know, here we are. It's 11 a.m. on the East Coast. It's 11:11, and that to me is an auspicious moment. We're sitting in this Taurus full moon energy today. And, you know, I know that's about the comfort zone, but maybe Barbara, you can bring a little more, just give us a snapshot of what's going on in this next, you know, little while. There's a lot going on, right? Astrologically.
There's a lot going on. And thank you, first of all, for having me on your show. I feel very honored. I love watching your videos too. I love the way you're blossoming and sharing so much. And you've got a tremendous following who really love you. And I hope that this will bring more people to you.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So that's first thing what I wanted to say. Yes, well, we've got the full moon coming up tomorrow in Taurus. We've got this 11, 11, 11 energy. We've got 11. So 11, of course, a very powerful number. I'm not a numerologist. Possibly you know more about that than I do.
It is a power number, and it is a power number to me. The 1111 is like the Four of Wands in the tarot, which is a gateway to something new, a gateway to a partnership, or a gateway to just blossoming into something happy and joyful. A lot of times it's a surprise. And with the Taurus full moon, about being comfortable, you know, 1111, when you see the, or well, I'll show you the card, but when you see the Four of Wands there, it's like an invitation. It's like a gateway. It's a beautiful, it's a Jewish chuppah in their wedding. You know, it's the beginning of the transition from being two single people to being a couple to being a family, right? The next level of that. And it's just such good energy to me. Taurus is grounding energy too. It's comfortable. To me, it feels like an invitation to get your feet on the ground a little more practically.
Yes.
So talk to us a little bit, I'll show you the card, but talk to us a little bit about coming out, or we're still in Scorpio energy, but moving into Sag. That would be really helpful, I think.
Well, we are moving into Sag, and I'm preparing videos for this new moon in Sag that will be coming up next. So Taurus energy and Scorpio energy is what we've been dealing with. But today we've also got that moon, well, tomorrow, the moon conjunct to Uranus. So I think this Uranian aspect is something that is repeating and repeating and repeating. Next moon energy is going to be all these quincunxes to Uranus. So it's no use getting too comfortable is all I'm going to say to you. Don't even try.
Well, you know, I just moved, right, Barbara? So I still have boxes. So I guess I'll just leave them stuff in the boxes if I don't need it, because am I going to be moving again?
Okay. Well, I'm saying nothing. I just can say that if you can be the one that pushes yourself and initiates change outside of your comfort zone, so much the better than having something from outside. And okay, if it's something from outside, that too can wake you up. But if you could look deeply now with this Mercury close to the sun it's not going to be this close for another 13 years. So if you can use this Scorpionic energy while we've got it, I know you want to get off into the Sag energy, but if we can utilize it productively to really look at the areas in your life where you are holding on. It's like, I don't want to lose that. It could be a relationship. I don't want to lose that relationship. I don't want to lose that job. I don't want to lose that. You know, what is it that you really feel you've got to hang on to, rather than say, this is in my life, I'm enjoying it while it lasts. And am I willing to release it? Can I let it go?
Yes, and that is such a big deal. You talked a little bit about the Mercury transit going in front of the sun, and I know it's, you know, when it transits in front of the sun, I saw the picture of it, just this little tiny Mercury in the sun. You know, it's like not exactly an eclipse, but okay, right? It's what does that do for us? How does that impact us?
Well, because it's in Scorpio, I think we have to take that into account. I think it impacts us at the deepest level of our unconscious minds, because Scorpio would rule your emotions, and it would also rule everything to do with you finding your power, rebirthing yourself, coming into something, growing into something. It's not necessarily comfortable. Right? We know that. But isn't it wonderful when you get through it and you feel like, wow, I've survived this and I'm thriving.
Exactly. Here's that Four of Wands card that I was telling you about. It is a beautiful card. It's one of my favorite cards. And it does, you'd be surprised at how many people, well, I guess you wouldn't be surprised because there's whole TV shows about it, but people who getting married, the stress, you know, you think it's like a happy occasion, but there's still stress associated with it. Change is associated with it, big changes. A lot of people even change their names, Baraka, right? And that has a different energy to it. So,
totally.
Right. So
totally.
the things you're holding on to, that's very good. You're holding on to things, and just the energy of sort of letting that go, allowing much more of a feminine energy, correct?
Yes, and allowing the emotions to come up, whatever emotions, it's certainly intense emotions with scorpionic energy. Just have them, don't resist them. I mean, it's easier said than done, but still. And you may have profound healing. It can be a deep time of where you can have this most amazing healing energy. This is a very healing time. So for anybody who's been looking for healing or looking for help or wanting that and praying very deeply to the depths of your soul, I think that this can be a time of manifesting maybe the healer that you need. Yeah, I mean, I'm here in Israel at the moment. I saw an amazing, what is known as a tzaddik, somebody who is like a righteous man, somebody who is operates on a different level, very highly elevated. And a woman there in the surgery where he works, he does acupuncture. Her husband had been blind for 17 years and he can now see. And this is with, you know, and it's like miracles, and the whole place is heaving with people because, you know, for those who can't pay, they don't pay. Those who can pay. So deep healing, the portals are open, I feel, at this time for those who are really praying for miraculous change.
Well, you heard it from Baraka. You better be praying for those miracles. We've been talking about that for a couple of weeks, right? With the new moon in Scorpio, we're talking about, you know, those things that are deep down, the things that bring things to the surface. I know I have experienced a lot of things coming to the surface, old fears, and old ways of doing things show up again as the universe is sort of like, okay, are you sure you're done with that? Are you sure you're done with that lesson? You know, and then what is your response to it? How do you move through that? And I like the letting go and the holding on analogy, because that does seem like, as I've been doing this on YouTube for now 2 years, I feel like that's the thing that brings people the most pain, is that they're holding on to a thing that, you know, instead of allowing things to move through their life or flow through their life, you know, things are always in motion, things are always moving. And having the gratitude for something that has floated through your life is every bit as valuable as something that has stayed in your life, and having gratitude for that. So I think that's very interesting. We're right now, Venus is in Sagittarius, correct?
Yes, and Jupiter, of course.
And Jupiter, of course, because the Sag. So help me understand what that energy is and then where it's going, because it's changing at the end of November.
Yes, absolutely. We're moving into Sag times. Sag provides us with some welcome light relief from the Scorpio and the Capricorn energy on one side to the other. It's like, vroom. This takes us upwards. This is fire energy. So earth and water, as we know, both of us, takes us more downwards, takes us to the higher areas. So in the Kabbalah, we'd be moving to the crown chakra, more the Keter part of the Sephirot. We'd be moving upwards. So this can be a time for romance. It can be a time for meeting somebody special. synchronicities. It can be very good for business. It can be good for promoting something. And it's also very good because Jupiter rules just laughter. The big, the big bellied guy that's ho, 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 ho. Isn't it?
Indeed. Indeed. How does that, I mean, this is kind of an interesting verb to use, but how does that square with us still being in the Scorpio new moon? How did that square? Because, this is my own personal, like, I don't know enough about astrology to understand this, but when Venus and Jupiter in that Sag energy, and we're still in Scorpio, how can that, what does that look like with someone at the same time? What can that look like? Am I saying that correctly, Baraka?
Yeah, I'm trying to compute. I'm thinking. So
because
you're
saying, the new moon, I launched something new, right? New Scorpio moon because transformation and all of that. But
yes.
Mercury in retrograde at the time, you know what I mean? Like some of these things are conflicting in my view. I'm just trying to get a handle on that.
Right. Well, they are conflicted. The Scorpionic energy is more inward. The Sagittarian energy is more outward and more all-embracing. The Scorpionic energy takes you into the nitty-gritty and the details. The Sag takes you into the wider perspective and seeing things from a wider lens. So I think if you're balancing the two, then that's really healthy. It's just when you go all one way and not the other way, then you're not getting any relief. So it's good to be serious for a while, and then it's good to have a joke and a laugh.
I like that so much because I do think we get in, I mean, this Mercury retrograde was really hard for me. I had a lot of difficulties, really big difficulties. But you can also get into that mindset of only like this one particular energy is going on when that's not true at all. There's all kinds of other, right? So
not at all. It's not at all true. And I think that it's important to recognize that 3 planets are really strong right now. Jupiter's still in Sag, it's going to go into Capricorn, but it's still in its rulership. It's hitting very soon the galactic center at 27 degrees of Sag. Woo! Opens up all kinds of portals to the ETs, and it's really exciting.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like it.
So you've got Saturn in rulership, Saturn in Capricorn. So this is a very good time for building structures. It's a very good time for making that move and building yourself up into a career or a profession or whatever it is. Good structure building is great when we've got that going on. And of course, we've got Neptune in Pisces. So any planets, outer ones particularly, that are in rulership tend to outweigh, in my view, the activation of what they're able to do. So Neptune in Pisces as well. Well, that's a lot of people wandering around very lost.
Yes.
Where am I? Where am I going?
Yes. Agreed.
Well, and at the same time, an opportunity to connect with all of us and see that we're all very special. And
Baraka, I love it. I think that's so important. And I want to know, just from everybody watching, what is the most, I guess, what can we expect the rest of this year and moving into 2020, just in terms of your view of what the energies are going to be. Okay. I know some people look at love, some people look at career. I'd just be interested in sort of your general idea of what is going to be coming up. I know we just talked about Sag, but.
Sure. I think the energies are very complex. I think we're living in times of great complexity. So whereas I used to be able to say, oh yes, these are the things that I see and have maybe some clarity about exactly what's coming, I don't think we're going to have that luxury this time round. What I'm seeing is that, as I'm sure you are too, with the solar eclipse coming up in Capricorn, opening the 20s, the 2020s. So will this be like the 1920s? Will this be the roaring 20s? Will we have, a decade where things are just roaring ahead, where things are just really opening up? So we start with this Capricorn energy. And I think that it's because we have 5 planets in Capricorn: Sun, Moon, Jupiter, Pluto, Saturn, all together, coming together with that potency of Capricorn energy. So I think it's very important for everybody to find Capricorn in your chart, number one. Really find out which life areas are being stimulated, which life areas you need to look at, and also look at the opposite house. Never take one house in isolation. Look at Cancer as well. Yeah, really important, because you're balancing these frequencies, especially as we've got the North Node in Cancer.
I was going to say to you, I am a huge North Node devotee, and right, we're doing a class right now that's going to start tonight about building a spiritual type of business of your, sort of what you're doing in the world and how you're doing it and how you're out there. And North Node is definitely a piece of that. Going toward that North Node, what you need to embrace in this life, but not forgetting about that South Node, because that's where a lot of the tools you've already built come from, right? And can be easy to, right? In the Taurus full moon, it can be easy to go back to where you're comfortable with, right? But it's really about pushing forward into something new, this expansive 2020s, like you're saying. I just love that. That's good advice. Find Capricorn in your chart.
Thank you. No, I mean, I think what's coming, I mean, you're really an expert on the nodes. I think more than I am, quite honestly. I'm learning all as I go along. But the fact that the South Node is in Capricorn takes us back to our ancestors. Who are your ancestors? Where have you come from? Look back, honor those people. Your parents, your grandparents, your great-grandparents. Wow, you come from a line of people that are all standing with you. I think it's Maya Angelou who says, they're all with me. I'm never alone, right? So who are all these people who are with you? Connect to them and you'll feel your power, you'll feel your strength coming through.
I love that so much.
I think that's something that you might want to consider or think about. And of course, we're moving towards this Cancerian energy, which is family. Who are we nurturing? Who is our family? Going beyond the nuclear family and taking that wider. So the family, the ancients, the ancestors, what they bring, and now what's the family that we are creating together here, the wider family.
Oh, that's so beautiful. I love that. We talk about that on the channel a lot. And in fact, this has been moving into this. I have this little YouTube family of which you are my sister, which I'm so, honored to have you.
Honored to be with you. You're my soul sister.
Absolutely. Yes, indeed. I've met some really amazing people, including yourself. And this has been a great journey so far. And here's hoping for more great journey coming ahead. And I do think that, I just pulled some cards before you got on here, and there is something here about, this is the thinker showed up, which is really that big picture that you're talking about, right? That big picture. I view this as Aquarius, but I can see the Sag model of it also with this optimistic sort of worldview and a message coming through that is moving you toward something that is going to be very, I'm going to say financially rewarding, but in the Treasure Island, that's just sort of the basic thing, because abundance can be anything. Abundance can be friendships, it can be travel, it can be expanding, right? Moving into that Sagittarian energy of expanding into other places that may bring you outside of your comfort zone. And those lessons, what are those lessons that, sort of embracing that instead of being like, oh no, that's too weird for me, or that's not in my comfort zone. Really learning to expand those things. So some messages may be coming across that cause you to look at the bigger picture here. And this card is a 44 card, and you were talking about numerology. I am an amateur numerologist from way back. And in fact, I was talking about this with you as you changed your name to Baraka. My original name was Barbara too, as a baby, and then I was adopted and Mary Jo became my name. So the numerology of those two things have always been very interesting to me, the progression of those two things. And this is a 44, which is about 4 is structure. And in numerology, you don't reduce an 11 or 22 or 33, they're all, and 44, they're all power numbers. So you don't reduce them. If you reduce them, you limit their power. So 44 is an expansive number. And in fact, this is a 4. We're just talking about this too earlier in the thing. So this is 1111 leading to 44. So the gateway coming through, the message here from my point of view is that their message is coming through from your connection to a higher self that may lead you in the direction of a brand new, as my mother used to call them, happy island, where, because you're swimming, right? You're doing the work, and then you get to this happy island, and there's, as in her view, there was cocktails and a fine dinner. So
I love that.
Right, and meeting new people. So get yourself out there, and that actually jives with the readings I was doing for the holiday time period, was really getting yourself out there. There's gonna be a lot of opportunity to get yourself out there. So embracing that, and coming in with all kinds of new opportunity ahead. So it's so wonderful to see you. I'm so glad you're having, I hope you're having a good time. You seem like you are.
I'm having adventures. Thank you, Mary Jo. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. And I just want to tell everybody, please go, your channel is still called Barbara Goldsmith, right? I assume that's going to be changing.
I'm going to have to change everything. I just haven't had a chance because each day I'm traveling and moving and things are happening. So, but I will be changing that. Yes, it will.
Good deal. So please visit her channel. If you haven't seen Baraka's channel yet, please go over there, Barbara Goldsmith, see that. Watch some of your videos. I love the Pleiadian. I don't think I know the origin of your Pleiadian messages. I don't think I remember that was one of the first videos I saw of you.
Really?
So you channeling Pleiadian is really amazing. I was just like, oh my God, I didn't know that you did this. So good. When did that start? Always, or?
No, it's just about 4 years ago. Yes, 4 years ago, 2015. Yeah, just over 4 years ago. Yeah.
Is that when you started the channel?
Yes, that's when I started the channeling. I was at a very low point, dark night of the soul type of my life. A big relationship ended, and I wanted to hold on to it.
Yes.
Didn't want to let it go, but it was really gone. There was no going back.
Indeed.
And so I prayed and prayed and prayed, and then suddenly this came through quite unexpectedly. I really had never channeled before, so that was
amazing. Well, thank you all for watching. Thank you for watching today. I hope this was of some help for you and shed some light on some things. And so thank you guys for joining us today. And thank you, Baraka, and enjoy your evening, right? It's evening there.
It's evening here. And thank you so much, Mary Jo, for having me on your show. I really wish you many blessings and more people come to see you. I'll certainly be posting this on my site for you as well.
Oh, wonderful. Well, good. Thank you so much, Baraka. Take care of yourself.
Thank you. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.